Hello, all. After graduating from the International Center of Photography, Kunal Gupta has made a name for himself amongst the top celebrity photographers of Bollywood. Through his camera, he has mused personalities like A.R. Rahman, Arnab Goswami, Ranbir Singh, Kareena Kapoor, Sonam Kapoor, and many, many more. His enthusiasm for his art has been recognized by several fashion magazines, such as the Rolling Stones, FHM, MW Magazine, and others as well. He sits here in conversation with me to discuss the current world of fashion photography and how and from where it is influenced. Unknowingly, we digress a bit into how important the contribution of an encouraging parent could be in the life of a child. We then discuss whether the omniscience of social media has been pernicious to the world of photography, or is it instead a blessing in disguise? Kunal also outlined a basic work frame for what an aspiring fashion photographer could take hints from. Kunal has been consistent in his work since the past 10 years, and if any of you fancy a refreshing look at Bollywood or fashion photography in general, you should definitely check out his work. You're listening to the PS Podcast, and I'm your host, Chaitanya.
So I've known many photographers from Indore, but the ones that I have known, and we are talking about 2009, 2008, when photography was not such a well-known field, at least in Indore. And the photographers that I came to know were mostly hobbyist wildlife ones, like Salil Tambe
Right,
and some other photographers who have come out from Indore.
right.
How it is that you were introduced to this field at such an early age, and how did you end up being inspired by fashion photography?
So I started clicking pictures when I was in 8th standard. My father gifted me a camera. He saw this thing in me that I have a thing for cameras and I really enjoy it. And I always used to carry that that point and shoot film camera with me when I was a child. I continued that till 12th standard, and after that, I wanted to study economics, and I wanted to go to Pune and be with all my friends and live the live that kind of life where not this artistic life. But my father thought that you are better at clicking pictures, so you should actually get into photography, and instead of going into other fields. So that was, I think, 2009 when I thought my father told me that, okay, you should get into, some creative field and start clicking pictures seriously. Then I took admission in EMRC college and I bought my first DSLR. And I was always into portraits. I always used to love click pictures of people. So I thought, why not, let's click my friends, people around me. That's how I was interested in clicking portraiture, and then slowly when I started experimenting with lighting, I found that fashion photography is a field where I should try my hands on. Fashion photography was around 2011 2012, before New York. I realized that I have a thing for clothes and experimentation in photography, where you can have all the control over lighting and composition, and you can create your own art, and you can create some meaningful imagery. So that's how I thought I should get into fashion photography seriously.
So you mentioned that your father, and because I know that uncle is an engineer,
He's a chemical engineer.
he's a chemical engineer. So he himself being from a STEM field, he pushed you into something so different.
Yeah.
So do you think it is part that a parent plays in nudging a child towards working on their own ambitions, That is that important?
I feel that is really important, especially when you are into a creative field, because typically in India, all the parents want their kids to, to get into a safer field like a doctor, medical, or engineering, or into chartered CA, into chartered accountancy, and all of that. So my father, being an engineer, he realized that, and he used to travel a lot around the world. So he saw the world. He saw that, there are other things, or other professions that exist in this world, and you should always do what you like. And he saw that I was enjoying with my camera, and I was the happiest when I'm shooting. So he pushed me for to get into photography, and to buy the latest equipments, to read about photography, do new experiments every day. So yeah, that is really important. I would say it really helps a lot when you have support from your family.
So, why I asked about your inclination towards photography is that I remember from the first year of our undergraduation, where we got to know each other, I don't seem to recall a lot of students having a distinct career ambition in their mind. And everyone knew that Kunal has come to this college to become a photographer. I was under the impression that it was a fashion photographer, but you're saying that you wanted to become a photographer, and then after experimenting in the college, you started getting knowledge about fashion photography, and then you chose the field.
Yeah. So initially, when I started photography in 2009, like seriously, like serious photography, I tried my hands on everything. I did couple of weddings. I worked as a photojournalist with the newspaper for 6 months. I shot everything. I shot products. I shot kids. I shot pre-wedding shoots, and I tried my hands on everything. And then after experimenting, I realized that I'm good at like creating that drama, and using a lot of lighting and creating a story out of my pictures. So I thought fashion photography is my thing. And with fashion photography, I started liking advertising photography, where uh, I could help a client to sell a product, and to create an idea for a brand, and to create those pictures for a brand to help them sell the product. That really uh, made me curious to
And maybe once that you yourself see the product that you have created, you also feel a little inspired.
yeah. And I was really happy to see when I shot my first advertising project, my pictures went up on the hoardings in my city, and I was quite excited looking at those pictures around the city. It made, yeah. So I thought, I definitely want to continue this, and I want to go to Bombay. I want to start my career there, and yeah. So I still doing it, still trying my best to grow.
And I remember some people I'm sure might have tried to pull you down, but a lot of people are also appreciative of what you were doing. I remember your photos being on hoardings in Indore, them being in our canteen,
Yeah.
which you have shot for some radio channel. if
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
wrong.
for Radio Mirchi.
So because it was such a new thing for us to at least know. So I think you really paved the way for maybe all of the photographers here who are trying to do photography in Indore commercially.
I would actually consider myself as one of the first photographers in Indore who actually tried their hands on fashion photography,
That is for sure.
because I always used to follow a lot of photographers from Indore. My teacher, Mr. Hemshankar Pathak, he's a great wildlife photographer. But I always used to look for inspiration in Indore, but I never found one. But then my first inspiration was Mr. Suresh Natarajan. He's based in Bombay. I did my summer internship in 2011 under him. And when I was in Bombay for 1 month, there I saw that the fashion industry is pretty big, and there is a lot to learn, and there is a lot of hard work. So I planned my career accordingly. I planned for my further education in New York, and then I went to Bombay. So yeah, it's been a journey.
So both of us share a background of photography, right? We have educational qualifications to show for it. But the world of red carpet and celebrities and fashion in general is very, very far from my circle. How is it to work with people who seem larger than life, with people who we have only seen through lenses and screens? How does it feel?
It feels great actually. I am so happy that I get to work with so many great personalities. Uh, it's always a challenge to shoot with them because when you are with them, when I started shooting celebrities, initially I was really starstruck that, I was, when I shot Mr. A.R. Rahman, I'm his big fan. And when I was on the set, I was really scared that how will I perform? I want to click like really good portraits. So it's really good. It's really interesting to shoot with all these famous personalities. You get to learn a lot. You become really quick because you have limited amount of time. And I would say it made me a better photographer because I have to plan everything beforehand when I go and shoot a celebrity. I have to plan my lighting, my mood, my backdrops, what I want to show in my photograph, because there I get like 10 minutes, maybe half an hour or an hour, not more than that. So yeah, it is quite fun actually to be with
I
them.
remember you telling me when you shot Ranveer Singh that you didn't get a lot of time for it and you had to do it like while working. It was
Yeah, so Ranveer, actually it happened accidentally. I was there for Sara's shoot. I was supposed to shoot Sara Ali Khan, and we were doing our studio setup at a hotel in Bombay. And while I was doing my setup, Ranveer passed. He crossed my set, and he saw that I'm doing something with my lighting and my camera. So he came to me. He was like, Kunal, are you ready? I was like, yes. I was quite intimidated. So he was like, okay, come and click my pictures quickly. So I just used one light and he gave me around 2-3 minutes and we clicked some amazing photos. So yeah, it was a fun thing, after I shot him, we finished our setup and then we shot Sara. So it was a great thing that I got to shoot with both of them on the same day.
even the photos that you took of Ranveer Singh, those were very different, not in the way that they had been shot, but the content of it. Like it was very fun. He's jumping around, he's making all sorts of gestures.
Yeah.
If I'm not remembering it
Yes,
wrongly.
yes, you are right. Actually, when we were doing the setup, lighting setup, we were actually in the middle of our, setting up our laptop and our camera, and there was only one light on the top of my light stand, which was actually ready with the electricity and all. So when Ranveer came, I told him to, can you jump and let's do it like really in a fun way. So he started jumping and he's actually really energetic already. So quickly I just used one light as a flash, and in 2 minutes I took around 50-60 photos. Click, 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 click. And he was jumping, he was moving, he was giving me different expressions. And there we got like some amazing 5-6 pictures out of those 50-60 photos.
So have you found celebrities to be easy to work with, or are they particular to deal with, or is it something that would differ from each individual, for each individual?
It differs from each individual, but most of them are very easy to work with. And I always look forward to work with them.
Is it also because of the way you carry yourself?
See, Chaitanya, whenever I go on a shoot, I plan everything. I want to keep myself ready. I visualize my image and I decide on my lighting, my compositions, my colors I'm using the backdrop. Everything I decide beforehand, and then whenever I go and shoot a celebrity, most of the time I get amazing results. So that's why I think maybe, yeah, and they also want, every celebrity, they want a photographer to be, ready. They should know what they are doing. So that is really important.
So let's get into photography a little bit. And whenever I mention Bollywood, I will be referencing to it as the hub of fashion and trends and cultural symbols. Nothing to do with the quality of the movies at all. Okay. So basically, what is your part of the world of Bollywood? So do you think that the medium of photography emerging out of Bollywood and Mumbai, let's say, has been able to distinguish itself from the photographic styles of, let's say, the Western styles? Like, has it been able to manage a style of its own? I understand that the art form itself, like photography, almost everything depends on the individual's aesthetic preferences, right? And we can't generalize it amongst the whole industry. But what I'm asking is that has this industry, the Bollywood industry, as a trendsetter, been able to make itself into something that people look up to?
I totally think Bollywood has its own image. And coming to photography, photographers in Bombay, I've been following a lot of photographers from around the world, but there are a couple of photographers in Bombay or in Delhi. They have such distinctive style of work that you won't see that kind of work anywhere else in the world. And they are, and that is what I really like about being in the industry in Bombay, because you get to see such different kind of work. Every individual is doing something else, and work also comes with your background, where you come from. Because firstly, I feel that the in fashion photography, Indian clothes are really lehengas and the Indian wear. All the Indian designers, they have amazing designs, and the new campaigns that are being shot, they are totally creating an impact around the world. If you see the latest Sabyasachi campaign, the way the images are being shot, it reflects the Indian culture, the heritage, and the way they create a story out of those campaigns. It is beautiful. And you would never see such kind of work anywhere in the world. So I feel, yes, definitely photographers have their own style and everyone is doing superb work. And the competition is also really high. And it's when I compare it to New York, there is a still long way to go in terms of, the evolvement in photography is still required. But I feel we are still a very better place. Because
we have so much to shoot. Is that so?
We have so much to shoot. We have India is a country with a lot of soul. We have so many things here, and now photographers are trying to click meaningful pictures. They're not only clicking beautiful photos, and that's what I'm also trying to do in my portfolio. So it depends on where you come from. I come from Indore. I'm from a small town, so I've always been inclined towards a lot of glamour, a lot of fashion, lighting, colors. I used to click a lot of those kind of photos, but now I'm trying to keep it little simpler. Like I'm trying to click more meaningful photos with soul, like that. So,
but I must say that your style has been quite distinct since a very long time. You can see a photo and immediately recognize it to be a production of Kunal Gupta. How do you go maintaining something like that? And how would you recommend someone to develop their own style? Or is it something that just evolves with time?
I feel style only comes with time. It won't come to you in a day. Or suppose today you decide to be a photographer and you feel that, okay, I have this style and I have to continue with it. No, that's not going to happen. You have to try everything, and you have to make yourself visually really intelligent. How you make yourself visually intelligent? You keep on looking a lot of pictures. You look at movies, you look at people around you, you observe people, you observe the nature around you. You just keep looking at things, and then you decide that, what, I really like to do something like this. When I was shooting, when I started my career, I used to like a lot of, broken and lot of rustic old houses in Indore. I used to go there and I used to shoot my models. I used to shoot my models at factories, at an iron factory, or maybe at a very old house which looks very rustic, which has a lot of dirty elements and a lot of dirt around it. I tried to develop. I tried everything, and then I thought, okay, I like this. I like this kind of photography. I think my pictures should have this kind of lighting. My pictures should have this kind of color tone. My pictures should have this kind of backdrop. So that's how, when you start a sense, when you create an aesthetic sense in yourself, you actually develop your own style. So it will only come with time. for that, I think just keep clicking photos and uh, just keep practicing, and you won't even realize that you have a style.
You also said that being well read and well informed in that field will also immensely help.
That will totally help you, but you will only become better once you start shooting. And you should always keep shooting. You should never stop, because hands-on experience is the best when it comes to photography. That's what in my opinion, I feel.
Because I remember you were making this point earlier also, that we all come from different backgrounds, right? We all come from different lifestyles.
Yeah.
And living that life is a different thing. But as a photographer, experiencing that life and observing that life actually does help a lot in making your own, not just style, but your own images that you do.
Yeah.
So I actually had a very question that concerns, I keep thinking about it a lot these days, and why I have been asking you about styles and developing your own style. Is it being influenced from here or there? Do you think that Instagram or social media platforms have started to dominate the aesthetics of fashion? What I'm actually asking here is that if, let's say 5 years back, Sabyasachi made a campaign, photographic campaign, a magazine would have come to your house, it would have come to my house, and I would have looked at it for at least a month till the next magazine came. And that sort of observation is nowhere to be seen in today's world, and I'm not talking about people who are immensely into their fields. Of course, they will observe other professionals' work with the required intensity, right? But for the people who are consuming it, the people who need to understand that it is something in which time has gone into, has that only been reduced to the professionals? Are people actually giving time to aesthetics, or has the bombardment of photographs from social media actually taken away a lot of it?
I feel both the things are happening. There is a set of photographers, they are only doing it for social media. I feel there are few photographers that they want to just keep uploading photos. They just want that traffic to be on their profile. But for me personally, social media is really helpful in terms of my business, because I get to reach people through social media, which I couldn't do in any other way. And you get to show your portfolio to as many people as you want. So it is really helping. But I feel, I would say that our aim for all the photographers, the aim should be not just to upload the photos, not just to do it for social media. You should do it for yourself. Because ultimately, I feel that when you shoot for yourself, once you are happy, you can make other people happy. So yeah, I think social media has different roles to play. There are pros and cons, but for me, social media is really helpful.
One thing that I definitely understand from this is that social media has enabled, like it has enabled a lot of people, it has enabled you also to reach out to a much bigger audience, and it has made it much easier for you to relay your work to the people who you want them to see, the people who you want should see your work, right? So has it affected your artistic side? What I'm asking here is that, do you get the same time to ponder upon your work, the work that you might have given 2 months, 3 months to prepare before you did, or is it even important now?
So Chaitanya, when you get into commercial photography, you don't get to do what you like. You have to work as a team. A client will have a say, a makeup artist will have a say, a stylist will have a say. So you have to take everything in consideration, and then you decide what you want to shoot. So for my personal self, I feel that I don't get a lot of personal work I don't get a lot of time to do my personal work. But these days, while doing commercial photography, I take out some time just for my personal work. I do a lot of test shoots. I do what I like, what I want to do. And that really gives me a lot of satisfaction. But when it comes to commercial photography, a photographer cannot do everything on their own. They have to do it according to the client and according to the team they are working with. So yeah, of course, the creativity, it's a mixed thing, everyone's creative input you're taking. But it also teaches you team effort, but for personal work, you have to actually, it is really important to do personal work. You have to take out some time out of your commercial life, and then you have to plan something of your own, which you want to do, the art you want to create.
Another question stemming from this only: what would you suggest to someone who does personal work, tries to upload it, but does not get any response from anyone? What I'm asking is, a lot of people, I have seen a lot of my friends tuning their work because it was not well received somewhere.
Yeah.
So is because I interviewed Ashris from Indian Pixels, and he was very open about the fact that he makes things that reaches people through the algorithm of Instagram. So he has to make something that will be to his benefit.
Right.
Would you recommend that, or would you recommend practicing your own work without thinking about the fun, we say, na?
Yeah. So no, I feel that a photographer should always take both the things in consideration. This is a digital age, so you have to also target your audience. If someone is liking, some kind of work is trending, you have to do that also, just to get more work commercially. Ultimately, you have to earn money as well. But then for your personal work, I feel do whatever you like, show it to your audience, and you never know that they would end up loving your work, your personal work also. And that personal work can connect you to a client, and you can do some commercial work and taking your personal work as an inspiration.
Which resonates from your own work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you never know who on the other side of the internet might appreciate what is being
so you
done.
never know where it ends up. And the social media is really easy. It makes us, social media actually make it really easy to reach people, to even reach a bigger art director or a bigger editor of a magazine. So it's really easy. It's really important to create that kind of a work which you want to do in future, and which you want to do. Suppose I want to shoot something for a magazine, but I'm not getting the chance to work with that magazine. But what I do is I would create a personal set of work, and I would try my best that the editor of that particular magazine should see my work. What if they like my work? If they like my work, they would definitely call me, and I will get.
Now you don't need to run around for that.
Yeah. So
one of the reasons I've been trying to interview people from around this place, Indore, is that I have found it to be special, this location, in suppressing people. I don't know intentionally or unintentionally, but there are very few people who actually go forward with what they want to do, especially if it is something that is out of the norm. If you want to become a doctor, everybody will be behind you. They'll support you. If you want to become a good engineer, everybody will be behind you. That is true for all of India, right? Yeah. But Indore, especially because it is so business based. Yeah. Is what I feel. That is why I interviewed this guy, Madhusudan, also from Round, because he has done something exceptional, going against the norm, and that is in some place true for you also. Right. Why do you think that is the case here? Why is it because of the individuals? Is it because it is an inherent quality of Indore? Or is it because of the food?
I feel Chaitanya, Indore has a mixed population. I wouldn't say that Indore is only into business. I feel Indore has a lot of artistic people as well. But the only problem is the people are not properly exposed. Maybe the younger photographers, they are not properly exposed to what exactly is out there in the world. I can only talk about photography. So I feel photographers here, young photographers, they need to get out. They need to look outside the city. They need to look the work of photographers who are based in US or in Europe or in other countries, because there is a lot of things happening in photography world. People are creating beautiful imagery, but it's about exposure. When you don't get to see that work, you don't create that kind of work. You need a visual inspiration, So Indore, initially, if someone wants to start work here, I would say Indore is a good city. When you want to start work, I started my work here. I got really good appreciation at the early stage of my career. But then slowly you have to move on. You have to get out, and that is really important. I think it goes with every city, because in India, photography is majorly happening at Bombay or Delhi, and I think it's more of Bombay. So it is really important to go out and to expose yourself to the other side of the world.
Would you say that the exposure level of the audiences, the people who receive this work, also matters a lot? Because in Indore, I have seen that people don't really support local art. By what I'm trying to say is, if tomorrow I go ahead and make a painting, which I've put a lot of work into, for your case, you are bringing something completely new, and I'm sure you would have started in a place where economically even you were not satisfied, but you went through it, you powered through it. But let's say if today I make a painting and I'm expecting 1 lakh rupees from it, and I don't think Indore, the audience that Indore has, would be appreciative or would be even learned enough, and I'm talking learned in the sense of only supporting local art, would be learned enough to actually appreciate it, to pay that value. Does that also discourage the people?
Yeah, that totally discourages any artist actually, because when you put in a lot of hard work in your art, people here locally sometimes they say that, oh, you just click a button and you get a photo, and you don't have any expenses. You have these lights, you have just a camera, you just have to buy that camera once, then you keep on clicking photos. But what they don't understand is that there's years of hard work behind that photo, and and when I'm coming to the economics of it, a photographer has a lot of expenses also. For a very, like, I will give you a very small example. These days in digital world, storage being a very important aspect, because when we click a photo, a raw photo is 50 MB, and when we do a commercial shoot, we end up clicking 1000 to 2000 photographs. So you get a lot of you need a lot of space to store those photographs, and then you have to create a library. For that, you need to buy a lot of hard disks. So I have almost 20 to 25 hard disks. So in every 6 months or in every 3 to 4 months, I have to buy another hard disk. So that is like a small expense to me, right? So there are small expenses which are there with photographers that people don't understand.
And that is true for every art form, I would say.
Every art form, even for painter, even if a painter is standing and thinking what to make, that is also valuable. So that is, I think, that here, I think in Indore, people are not so much educated about. But when you go to bigger cities and when you go out around the world, you will see that people are really appreciative of your hard work, and then they understand what exactly artist is going through. So I feel it will come through with time. When I started in Indore almost 11 years back, things have totally changed now. I feel if I compare 11 years back from today, today is still better. People are still, well informed about what exactly
might be more accepting towards it.
Accepting towards the art. So yeah, I feel it is changing. I don't want to complain, because Indore gave me my start, and I am totally grateful for what I achieved here. And because of what I started here, I went to Bombay. I showed my work, what I shot here, to the people in Bombay. And then how you take a small step, and then you grow with small steps. So yeah, I think it will get better. It is still in a very
adolescent stage, let's say.
In a adolescent stage, but it is getting better day by day.
How was it coming face to face with A.R. Rahman? I know he's your inspiration, and you used to talk about him whenever we met. So how was it?
So shooting him, being in front of him, was a total surreal experience. I was when Amit from the Rolling Stone magazine called me, that he told me that, Kunal, we have a cover shoot and it's with Rahman Saab. For a minute, I was really shocked. I thought he's joking. He's not serious. So yeah, I mean, when I got to work with him, it was a great experience. I never thought that I would get to work with him in such a early stage of my career, and I am really grateful that I shot a couple of portraits with him, and he's a great person to shoot with. He's very humble. I consider him as a music god. I wouldn't say anything else. I feel really happy that I shot his photos. Totally different experience.
So let me dabble a bit into controversy. How was it working with Arnab? And I know those photos went viral, and by viral I mean present on every platform that I could see, and that definitely reflects on how good a photographer you are. I saw everyone use those photos everywhere. I don't know if you got any royalty out of it, but those photos are still being used around the web in a lot of places. But how was it to work with the man himself?
Honestly, it was so much fun. I can't even tell you. It was so easy to shoot with him. When I went on the set, I was initially very much nervous that I don't know what will happen and if I would able to take my own style of pictures or not. But when he came on the set, he was very easy to work with. Whatever I told him, he did that. He was very cooperative, and it was a very easy to shoot. It was a very easy shoot, and we finished almost like 4 to 5 changes in 2 hours.
Can you tell me about that story where you came up with the theme? I remember that being a story like you had to immediately come up with something, and the postures and the gestures and the props itself.
So shooting Arnab was a little bit challenging for me because he wears specs, and putting a person wearing specs on the cover and lighting him properly was a really important thing. So that was a little bit of challenge that I had to come up in immediately when he was on the set. I had to set my lights according to his face and according to his mood and according to I don't want my lights to be reflected on his specs. So yeah, I think it was that was one real challenging thing. And then we used a lot of props also while shooting with him. We used a loudspeaker and a set of television. So yeah, it was a very fun shoot, and the full team work was great, and we finished that shoot in 2 hours. So yeah, one of the quickest shoot of my life.
Which shoot has been the most fun for you up until now? It could be a celebrity, it could be a non-celebrity.
The most fun shoot, I can't tell you one, but one of the fun shoots of course, with Mr. A.R. Rahman, and the other one was at Rolling Stone's cover shoot where I had to shoot 13 people on the cover, and 13 people. The Rolling Stone never put 13 people on the cover on one cover, so it was a really super challenge work for me, and I had to manage 13 people, and I have to arrange them properly in the format that they look nice on the cover. So yeah, it was a fun shoot, but that cover also we shot in 15 minutes, that one photo. So arranging them, and talking to them and putting the lights and setting up, and the full experience was great.
So how much of this shoot is improvised on the set, and how much of it is visualized the night before?
So like for example, this cover shoot with 13 artists, this cover shoot we did not decide anything before the shoot. We knew that there are 13 people, they all are actors, and the only thing we decided that let's make them wear white and blue jeans, blue denims. So yeah, to make the cover look uniform, we decided that everyone should wear white. That's the only thing we decided. We had no clue how we are going to arrange them, because these 13 people were theatre artists and they were preparing for a musical that was supposed to happen in Bombay. And while they were doing the practice on the set, we went on the set, we did our setup there, and we just immediately on the while being on the set, we decided that let's use the props around here. Let's use this box. They can maybe stand on this box. They can stand on the stool. They can sit on the floor. And that complete thing happened in 15 minutes. And we finished that cover shot in 15 minutes. So yeah, that was like most fun, and I'm really proud of that cover.
I've also seen a recent photo where a similar number of people you've shot, but now all of them are wearing black for Rolling Stones. Sing India Sing.
Oh shit. वही cover की तो बात कर रहा था.
He has been talking about the color black and he was referencing it as the color white.
White, yeah. No, okay, so that was actually color black. I'm really sorry about that. That is really funny.
Tell me one thing.
Yeah.
Which color would be the most difficult to work with?
White.
White?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because white reflects a lot of light. So getting the details on white is really challenging. Even if you're shooting white in a outdoor setting or indoor setting, to shoot white is really challenging.
I used to think it would be red, but probably white loses more data.
Yeah. So in photography, showing white as exactly white is really important. You can't use a lot of tones. You can't work with a lot of colors and contrast.
The balancing is also need to be.
So balancing needs to be there, and the details needs to be there. And I love shooting white on white. So I love to shoot white, someone wearing white on a white backdrop.
A lot of people say a lot of photographers like to say that they love shooting monotones, they love shooting black and white, but not a lot of people can execute it well. And you once shot a whole family photo for me, and people have been amazed by it, and me myself, I've always found your monotone shooting to be incredibly impressive.
Thank you.
Do you have a dream image in your mind? One photograph that you would definitely want to create?
I don't have a dream image, but I do have dream clients and dream magazines. I really want to work with some really good magazines around the world. I really want to work with some really good fashion brands around the world. I don't know when that will happen, but yeah, I am just putting my hard work, and let's see if I can get to it.
Would you like to take the road that Prabhuda Dasgupta took? Like, he would probably be a person who redefined fashion and art photography together, right? Would you like to do that, and is it possible to do today?
It is definitely possible to do it today. I feel he was the original fashion photographer in India, and every fashion photographer in India has taken some kind of inspiration from his work. So of course I'm also inspired by him, but I always believe in taking inspirations from all the best photographers, and out of those inspirations create my own body of work. So yeah, I am actually a lot of inspired by him, and I love his black and white photos and the mood he used to click. He's the best, yeah.
What would you recommend to a person who is trying to get into your shoes? Not where you want to go from here, but someone who wants to reach where you are right now. What advice would you give them? It could be advice regarding how you maintain your schedule here and there. By there I mean Mumbai, how you deal with clients, or anything much before that. So, what advice can you give them that you did not have when you were doing this?
Honestly, I was pretty much well guided by my mentors and by my parents. But looking at today's young photographers, I feel they don't have a lot of proper guidance. First thing you need in fashion photography and commercial photography, you have to have a lot of patience. Patience is really important. You will not get a big project or a big magazine cover shoot in a day or in a year. You will have to put in a lot of efforts, and you will have to keep shooting and keep proving yourself, and keeping up with the latest trends is really important. So I feel to all the young photographers, another thing is really important for me. Don't do it for social media. Don't do it for likes, and don't do it for comments. When you do it for likes, you get good likes from people around you. You get good comments from your friends and your families. But when you go in the real world, you see that you don't stand anywhere close to the industry standard photography. So you have to prepare yourself for the market. So you have to keep reading, keep looking at good photos. Always look at good pictures, I would say follow good photographers. There are good photographers and there are bad photographers. Don't follow bad photographers. Only follow good photographers. Only look at good work. Only by looking good work you will learn a lot.
And by looking, I think you mean by actually observing them.
Observe it, observe the photo, study the light, study the mood, study the poses. That really helps creating your own style, and that really helps you to create a good portfolio for yourself. That is really important. I'm looking at young photographers. They all buy a camera, and once they get a DSLR, they think that they've become a photographer. That need of learning is not there. There has to be, the depth to your understanding. You should always consider yourself as an amateur photographer, and you should always think that there is so much to learn, and every day is a learning process. So never stop learning.
Do you still feel you have a lot to learn?
Oh, I haven't reached even 50% of what I want to do. Whenever I shoot a picture, immediately I like the photo. But when I look at the photograph after a week, I don't like it. And it's still happening with me. So I always feel कि इसमें कुछ और हो सकता था. I want to do something else. I could have done lighting the other way maybe, or maybe the pose is not right, or the mood is not correct. So with every shoot, I'm learning so much. That's why I never want to stop shooting. At the early stage of my career, I used to assist photographers. But when you assist photographers in Bombay, you don't get a lot of time to shoot. So that's the reason I did not assist for a long time. I assisted for a really short period of time because I wanted to shoot. And I am a person, I can't stay without shooting. My process of learning, I don't read a lot, honestly. I don't read a lot. I don't I don't buy a lot of photography books. My only way of learning is just to look at photos. I just keep looking at pictures, good photographs, good photographers. I try and not to follow or not to look at any photographer which I don't like. So that is really important for me.
Kunal also went for doing his masters in photography from the International Center of Photography in New York, which is the ICP. How has that affected your work? Would you recommend people opting for a endeavor like that?
I feel I went to New York when I was 19 years old, and I was in Indore. Indore is a small town, limited artistic space, and once you travel from Indore to New York, it's a total different ball game. I was culturally shocked. I felt, what am I doing? Where am I? It took me almost 3 to 4 months to adjust in that New York life. Coming to photography has a totally different level in New York, and it does not exist anywhere in India. What is there in New York? So I feel if you want to explore that side of photography, and if you can go, please, you should try for it. You should go to New York. I would only suggest New York because I've been there and I know how the industry works in New York. New York should be a dream place for every fashion photographer, and not only fashion photographers, even for any fine art photographer, any kind of photography. New York is the place. You go there, you stay there for a month. Even if you're not joining a school, you will learn a lot. The city itself teaches you a lot. So New York changed me as a person. Of course, it changed my photography, but it also changed me as a person, and that complete experience changed my photography.
I think you're a person who never shies away from new experiences, and you always try to absorb it. And in your case, when you went to New York, you went alone, right? So it was something that you were overwhelmed with it initially, but then you absorbed it.
New York was initially very difficult for me because coming from Indore, being surrounded with your family and friends, suddenly you go to a new city, which is a fashion capital of the world, financial capital of the world, and then you see a lot of different people from different countries. It was really difficult for me to adjust initially. I did not know how to talk to new people, how to talk to strangers, and to clicking photographs. So yeah, New York was really difficult, but that makes you stronger. Once you get out of your comfort zone, life starts happening to you. So I feel if you have the opportunity to travel anywhere in the world. If New York is the best place, of course, but travel anywhere. Travel changes you. It teaches you a lot, especially for all the artists out there. I feel it. I take a trip outside India or anywhere in India. Whenever I come back to my hometown, I am a changed person in terms of my artistic thinking. I started thinking in some other way because you get to observe a lot, you get to learn a lot, and that observation really helps you to create your body of work.
Especially when we're talking about photography.
Especially when you talk about photography.
Who is one of the photographers that you have been very impressed with recently?
I'm really fond of Mr. Tarun Khewal's work. He's based in Delhi. Mr. Tarun Vishwa. Then Peter Lindeberg. He passed away last year, which is really sad. I really like the work of Mert and Marcus. They are a fashion duo. And then there's another duo called Inez and Vinod. I love the work they are doing, the kind of imagery they are creating, how they are blending the commercial and the artistic side of photography so nicely, and keeping up with the trends and educating the whole world. I mean, their work's been constant source of inspiration to me.
If people want to reach out to you or access your work other than Instagram, where would that be? Have you updated your website?
So I've become really lazy. Social media makes you really lazy because I feel now I haven't updated my website in 2 years, but I consider Instagram as my my portfolio website. Also, it's become easier for clients. They don't actually want to go to your website. These days everyone wants your Instagram ID. They straight away ask for your Instagram ID, and then they look your work, what you're uploading, what you've been shooting. Because on Instagram, you have to keep uploading continuously, and then it's actually the most recently updated portfolio website. But yeah, the other, my work is on my website called kunalgupta.com. I also do a lot of personal work. I also do a lot of documentary photography. I recently documented my mom and dad while at the lockdown in Indore. But all those work I don't upload, but yeah, that is for my personal satisfaction and my artistic needs.
And I think you were talking about this before also, that some of the work should be done not to upload, but just for yourself.
Yes. And I have a lot of work, lot of pictures which I never upload, but I have it with me just for my own satisfaction.
So I think we can end it here. And Kunal, it was wonderful having you. You've been a friend for a long time.
Great, Chaitanya. I never knew that I would be able to do this. I don't know if I was a good speaker, but
You definitely were. You have mastered the medium of visuals.
no, not yet. Long way to go. But thank you for your appreciation and for your constant push to do good work. And I always love when you send me all those Instagram DMs that you like this picture particularly, and you like this kind of lighting. That really helps me to push, because I also feel that being from same background, all my friends really inspire me a lot, and you're one of them.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Any future plans? Immediate future plans?
No plans.
Or just trying to get clients during the lockdown?
I'm just trying to get over this. I'm praying this situation gets over soon. Everyone is suffering. So let's get over it. Let's no future plans now. Right now, I'm really grateful that even if I'm doing a small shoot or a test shoot, I'm grateful for that. So I just want to keep shooting.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chaitanya.
Thank you. Thank you.